Hey everybody, it's me, Scott. I am the Mid-Level Maniac, and for those of you who have already liked the pages and subscribed to the pages, thank you for going on this journey with me. Already gotten some questions, especially from those of y'all that know me. What's up with this podcast deal? And what's up with the name? So, quick explanation on all the things. First off is the name. I knew that when I started this journey, I wanted to incorporate the name Maniac because clearly I'm crazy. And secondly, for a living, I'm a mid-level accountant. So I don't know. I was laying in bed Monday night thinking of names for this thing, what to call this thing, whatever this may be. And I got to thinking, I was like, you're a mid-level accountant, mid-level maniac. So that's what it was while I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep watching old episodes of Grey's Anatomy on a streaming service. I've been waiting to do this all day. I planned this whole thing out in my head at work, and now I'm home and I've got like this scratchy thing happening. I hope it's not Corvid's. Had that back in August, won't ever do that again. Did not bring me any joy having COVID. We were stuck in this house together for 10 days. And again, I will never go on that journey ever again in life. I think we watched every sci-fi fantasy movie ever invented in the 10 days that we were here. But we didn't kill each other, and the dog's still alive, so that's a good thing. So on to the podcast and the YouTube channel. My job is pretty much high stress. Plus, I do a lot of volunteer work, which gives me tons of content, by the way. So don't forget my life in general just gives you content for you to laugh at. But anyway, it's a high stress job that I work in. So I needed some sort of outlet to express myself a little bit. The people that know me pretty much already know the crap that's going to come out of my mouth when I get on a tangent. So why not share that with the world? I've been subscribing to a podcast with someone for years and years and years, and subscribed to his Patreon, started chatting through Patreon. He's like, dude, you're hilarious. You need to start a podcast. You really need to start a podcast YouTube channel. So I took his advice, got a swift kick in the butt, did a guest spot on his podcast that's going to drop here in a couple of weeks. Because I'm contractually obligated, I can't tell you what that podcast is yet, but the day that it does drop, I can tell you, so look for that in a couple of weeks. But he's hilarious, and we bantered back and forth, really fed off of each other. But again, he gave me the swift kick in the butt that I needed to get this thing started, but did just want to introduce myself, who I am, what we're going to be doing here. So this is going to be just basically my life and my daily musings and the things that I experience on a daily basis. Because not only do I work full time, which I won't touch on work a lot because I still got to get paid. So I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. But in my life as a homeowners association president, that gives me a ton of material. Actually, in the first episode that drops next Monday, the 23rd, we're going to talk about Karen. Bottom line, it's Karen, a real Karen, who is also a cat lady. Every neighborhood has a Karen. Excuse me. Every neighborhood has a cat lady. This is all wrapped up into one solid lady. So we're going to talk about Karen for a little while on Monday when you catch that podcast on Monday. So a day in the life of an HOA president. Plus, I am married to a minister. So it is my life as First Lady of the church. That's what they call me. I don't call me that. That's what they call me. But church people be crazy. So I've got some stories there that we can certainly dive into and give you lots of laughs with my life as the First Lady of the church. Don't ever call me that, by the way, please. Please don't ever call me that. Again, they call me that. I don't call me that. My friend Jeff calls me that. And I'll see him this summer when he comes up from Orlando, and I shall whip his ass when I see him because I think he's the one that actually started this whole thing. So yeah, Jeffrey and I will be having a discussion about that. Moving on, my in-home studio is maybe not as sophisticated as some of the other podcasts that you listen to, some of the other YouTube channels that you subscribe to. So just bear that in mind, that this is a backdrop that I got from the place that delivers everything to your door, whether you really need it or not. In fact, I see the truck out there now that is delivering another item. I love items, by the way, love items. I have an Amazon wish list. Just ask me for the link, I'll send it to you. So you may hear my dogs in the background. You may even hear my spouse come up the stairs and knock on the door. And I don't have one of those nice red lights outside of this room that says don't come in recording or whatever. So he's going to come in and ask me, does the church need offering envelopes, when I'm in the middle of something? So be prepared for that, especially if I'm doing a Facebook Live or whatever. But again, the podcast, The Mid-Level Maniac, drops wherever you get your podcast on Monday, May the 23rd. Again, that's Monday, May the 23rd, wherever you can get your podcast. I did just learn today that Facebook is stopping podcasts as of June the 3rd. So new content creators cannot post anything. Other content creators can have their stuff archived, but new content creators cannot post anything. So a Facebook podcast will not be available, which is kind of stupid when you think about it. Please don't ban me, Facebook, for saying that, but that's just my opinion. And it's freedom of the press, my First Amendment right to say it. So, not going to get into politics tonight. Down the road, we're going to get into politics because things are crazy. I will not deal in anything local here to where I am, again, because of work, but we will dive into my take on national politics and perjury, Taylor Greene, and things of that nature. So she's probably going to sue me, and I don't care. And I may even get in drag and impersonate perjury Taylor Greene, because I think it's going to be fun, don't you? Anyway, so please subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Just give it a like and follow. We greatly appreciate that. And I'm also on Patreon. That's patreon.com/The Mid-Level Maniac. Again, that's patreon.com/The Mid-Level Maniac. One more time for y'all in the back. Patreon.com/The Mid-Level Maniac. $5 a month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's $5 a month. That is less than a cup of coffee at your local coffee shop. And I am just as guilty as everybody else of stopping and getting a cup of coffee a couple of times a week down the road at the green place. But again, it's less than a cup of coffee a month, $5. That's what's going to help me keep the podcast going. That's what's going to help me keep the YouTube channel going. So please, if you can find it in your heart to subscribe to my Patreon, I would greatly appreciate it. I've got a ton of content ready for you guys. I'm really looking forward to bringing that to you. I'm not all that funny tonight. I understand that. It was a long day, really, really tired. My spouse is currently at church. Again, I'm married to a minister. So I'm going to be able to create a little bit on Wednesday evenings when he's at church. And definitely on Sunday mornings when he's at church, I will have plenty of time to create plenty of content. Excuse me, as well. I'm going to have some guests appear with me, one of which is going to be my next door neighbor. She is absolutely hilarious, and right now her hair looks like spaghetti because she got it braided and blonde. And so look forward to Spaghetti Girl here in a couple of weeks as well, because she's got some musings about the things that she sees around here. She is a travel nurse, so she's here for 13 weeks at a time and then gone for 13 weeks at a time. And in those 13 weeks, I get an earful of the things that she sees around here. So I'm really looking forward to hanging out with her here in a couple of weeks, and some other characters from around my neighborhood here in Summerville, South Carolina. That's just outside of Charleston. If you've never been to Summerville, come visit. This is where Sweet Tea was born. This is where Sweet Tea was birthed. Right here, there's a historical marker, literally a historical marker in downtown Summerville. It's a huge, giant Sweet Tea. I'll send some pictures of that, post some pictures of that on the Facebook here in just a little while. So if you have any content that you want to see, please feel free to email me, let me start over, info.themidlevelmaniac@gmail.com, info.themidlevelmaniac@gmail.com. And again, for y'all in the back, info.themidlevelmaniac@gmail.com. You got it? Y'all got it? Everybody got it? Okay. So if you want to see that any content, just give it to me. If you subscribe to the Patreon, I did forget to say this. If you subscribe to the Patreon for $5 a month, I'm going to be bringing you bonus content that will not be seen on this YouTube channel or heard on the podcast. It's 2 supplements, I guess you could say, to the podcast. One of which is going to be, who buys this shit? And that's going to be me and a friend going into the big box stores and finding these random items and then asking who buys this shit, and I'm going to give my commentary on it. A lot of what I say is in the moment. I could not sit down as a stand-up comedian and write down, okay, here's a joke. That is not in my wheelhouse. Point blank period, not in my wheelhouse. So everything that I do is in the moment. It's all situational, observational. So that's gonna be a fun time. And then my boss has agreed to join me in a supplement that we're gonna call Beyond the Drive-Thru. He is a 41-year-old single guy, never been married, so he basically lives on fast food and other crap. So today he was super excited that Taco Bell had released the Mexican pizza, or brought back the Mexican pizza, and he went and bought lunch for the whole department. Everybody got a Mexican pizza. I'm hurting right now because of the Mexican pizza, because I'm not 19 anymore. I'm not 17 anymore. I'm 44 years old. I can't eat like that anymore. But at any rate, when I said, are you happy you finally got your Mexican pizza? He said, yeah, I rank this right up there with Popeyes as far as good food goes. So then it dawned on me that this poor sheltered man needs to experience life outside the drive-thru. So Beyond the Drive-Thru will be dropping in a couple weeks as well. We're near Charleston, South Carolina, so there's plenty of food to be had. So Dan and I are going to be going to some restaurants and getting some decent food that is not hollering into a clown's mouth to order. So that's going to be funny, because yes, I will record every single moment of it to get his reaction, because again, I'm a good Southern boy raised in the South. Cut me open, I bleed gravy. I literally sound like cornbread when I talk. We established that on my Facebook about a year ago. I literally sound like cornbread when I talk. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to food. My body may not show it. That's a thyroid issue that I cannot put on weight. The thyroid issue. But I'm going to take Dan to get some real food here in the Low Country of South Carolina. And I'm going to record every single solitary minute of it, and I'm going to bring that to you as well. I've talked on my personal Facebook page for a couple of years now. Yankee Boss tries Scott's Southern Cooking with our commentary, so that's pretty funny. So if you want to add me on Facebook, check that out as well. And I do share those memories when they come up every year. But just realized my husband just texted me. He is on his way home from church, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off tonight, reminding you that the podcast does drop on Monday, the 23rd of May. That's Monday, April the 23rd of May. The podcast will drop, as well as the video from the podcast on YouTube. So be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. Email me, join the Patreon, patreon.com/the Mid-Level Maniac. Patreon.com/the Mid-Level Maniac. Looking forward to seeing y'all on Monday. And again, send me your content ideas. Bye.